First, I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their day to watch this video and learn more about our company. Um, Both companies, Emerge and also UltraLift. So I want to first start introducing UltraLift, the product, the background, and how we got to Emerge. So UltraLift was founded in 2011, end of 2011, started prototyping, gone through many rounds. I know it looks like a simple power tool, but it's actually very difficult to make. It's a driveline system inside, and that's the only reason why word around and drivers can't just go to Home Depot and buy an impact. First, before this project, long story short, before this project even got to my hands, I was thinking, just like everyone else, why won't they just go to Home Depot or Menards and buy an impact drill to raise and lower the trailer landing gear? Two reasons. And this is why the major landing gear manufacturers haven't or ever recommended doing that. It's too fast, which will strip the gears inside a landing gear so they lose warranty. Number two, once it hits the ground, there is no power because it's impact. Impact is hammer action. This is driveline, like a car vehicle. So a lot of components go inside here to make it work. Okay, that being aside, we started selling in 2016. First year, we just started going to shows, gaining traction. 2017, 18, we still picked up more traction. 2019 into 2020 was when we did the most by far. But what was really interesting in 2018 is we get a call, and that is why Emerge kind of got started. Actually, the idea came in 2018, but we're starting it today because March of this year is when we got the approval for the patent that we filed for deriving data from landing gear. So we're the only ones that can derive data from the landing gear. Not to jump too many topics. So 2018, we get a call from an insurance company saying, hey, are you guys able to provide data from your power tool? At first I was like, just like me and my engineer was like, why do we need data from the power tool? I mean, you definitely need it for your clients for a safety product, for raising and lower trailer landing gear without using a crane, right? So they said, well, there's a few things that, you know, their VPs and executives would like to prevent payouts. And not understanding the insurance company a lot, I don't understand payouts or things like that, but from a business standpoint, it makes sense because if they have to do a payout, insurance companies can't be making money. So they said they want proof that a driver is using the tool, number one. They also want other data points that we have included into our white paper, which is they want to know the torque. The reason they want to know the torque is because they can kind of tell whether a trailer was dropped and hooked. Drop and hook is when they, drop a trailer off, lower the landing gear to park it, and then raising the landing gear is when they connect to a trailer, connect to a truck to take off. So every time when a drop and hook happens, they want to know whether the container the trailer was loaded, semi-loaded, or empty. And they can know that because the range of foot-pounds of torque that the tool can drive is usually around 50s to 160. So for example, 160 would be a fully loaded trailer. 50 something or 60 or maybe 70 is pretty much an empty trailer. Anything in between that is partial. And one of the biggest reasons is in 2018, 19, or even before, a lot of stolen trailer claims are only paperwork. People are claiming that they have a full trailer loaded of whatever goods, right? So even though we can't tell what's inside the trailer, it's at least a starting point for investigation. Another very important data point that they want is the GPS location of when every drop and hook takes place. One of the biggest reasons behind that, which we didn't know, is I had to get all the explanation from the insurance company, is throughout a year they can't ask their clients, where are all your trailers going? There's no way to know, and there's no way to ask, right? So if they have a history, for example, a company with 100 trailers, but majority of their trailers and majority of the times for drop and hook are going to high risk zones, then they can charge their premium different the next year. Major difference. There's no data right now for them to do that except for based on claims, based on fraudulent activities, and based on stolen trailers, of course. So after the insurance company kind of inquired about all these data points from our tool, we then thought as a company, okay, if we can provide all this to the insurance company, then there must be other data points and valuable information that apply to our customers, like fleet managers, safety managers, maintenance managers, and also potentially the government. So how the data becomes important to fleets is, number one, if we can show that they can see real time where every trailer is being dropped off or picked up based on the tool being used. They have real time to allocate drivers to when the next pickup will be, or where they have an empty trailer that needs to get fulfilled, or which one. Better for efficiency of the operation for fleet managers. For safety managers, he's going to know that there's definitely no injuries from the landing gear. From the maintenance manager, here's a very important point. Most of the injuries happen when trailer landing gears are not properly maintained. And it's very hard because throughout the year, they're everywhere throughout the country. For example, Walmart, they have trailers that sometimes don't ever come back to home base to maintain. So one of the biggest problems when that happens is that the landing gear, getting into specifics, but the landing gear inside the grease gets hard and it gets gummier. And when it gets gummier and harder, that's when injuries happen. That's when every driver that cranks it, it becomes way more harder and difficult. So what our tool can do is, for example, if the last 10 drop-in hooks, doesn't matter which tool or which driver, right? But on that specific trailer, if it's showing the same torque, then you know that something's wrong, because you're never going to pick up a fully loaded trailer or an empty trailer. That's never going to be the case. It's always going to be sometimes empty, sometimes loaded. So the torque ratio has to always change. But if the torque, foot-pounds of torque never changes, then we would flag an alert to the maintenance manager, hey, have someone check it out. This is a proactive prevention, and it's very important because if a trailer gets stuck at a distribution center and the landing legs fail, for example, right? And it happens all the time. When it fails, you have to get a towing company to tow the trailer away. That's expensive, number one. Number two, you have to get it to a repair shop to repair the landing legs, so you have downtime on the trailer, which it's not generating revenue for the company. In today's environment, you have shortage of parts, shortage of people, shortage of everything, right? So if a trailer gets hauled to a repair shop, it's waiting in line. So who knows, it could be a week, it could be a few days. That's really detrimental to companies that need trailers to do their job to earn revenue, right? So that's one of the other important data points for fleet management. Government, which Department of Transportation. We're in touch with them, but we haven't, there's no reason to pitch because we don't have the product yet. We're developing this solution, but they have many use points for this. Here's why. There's billions of dollars of freeway and road damage by trucks, by semi-trucks and trailers every year. Now, if they have data points to know where and which state or which city has the most drop-in hooks, then they know, they get more data points to know, okay, we need to, I don't know, it's just a guess. If they have those kind of data points, they would know how to coordinate, improvements in certain cities and preventions more so than any other place. And they have a data of how many trailers is really on the road. This is if we ever get, down the road to be lobbied into, law that every trucking company needs some sort of automated landing gear solution, which I think in the near future it should happen. And we're building the steps. We're building we're paving the way for that to happen, because we're getting insurance companies involved. We're in the future, we're also going to get factoring companies involved. We have a lot of use cases right now. We have Just some of the companies, Coca-Cola, Fujifilm, Boeing, um, Penske, uh, government. We have a few Navy. We have Alaska Navy, and we have I think it's a Navy company in Virginia, or Navy military. So we have government using our product as well. Um, Now getting to how it works, because I think that I went really off tangent. Every trailer, we have a bracing mechanism. So how it works is every trailer has a 5 to 10 minute retrofit. So you remove the current crank, you apply our bracket, and then they're ready to go. What's also very unique about our product, and it's patented as well, is that the crank stays on at all times. So say someone didn't have the battery, or someone didn't have the tool, or third party comes to haul the trailer, and it's not the fleet's own driver, they're not going to protect them, which is unfortunate. But then what they do is they can still crank, and we have an engagement right here. We have videos on UltraLift.com, UltraLiftTech.com. So once it engages, then you're still cranking it. When you disengage, that's when you use the tool. So, with everything in mind, that is why we applied for the patent in 2018, and we finally got that in March 2021. And we're saying, okay, it's definitely time. We have a product that's needed. It solves one of the major problems. Trucking injuries to the landing gear is the second greatest injury in the trucking industry. Roughly around 7,000. That was a number in 2015, I believe. So let's say in a range of 5,000 to 9,000 drivers get injured every year. And I think after learning about this video, you're gonna see every time you see a trailer pass by, you're gonna look at something else. So they all have a landing gear, and right now, if you just next time you're on the road, if you see a trailer with a landing gear, you're gonna most likely see one of these. So the manual cranking system on trailer landing gears has been around for over 100+ years. And when we first started this company, we were just like, how can someone not come up with a solution a long time ago? I mean, it's moving in that stage, right? I mean, we got electric trucks, we got autonomous vehicles coming out. I think those are about 5 to 10 years away, right? But no one has really solved the landing gear solution. Besides what we have here with the power tool, we also have done, let me just show us. So this is probably the strongest foot-pounds of torque power tool system in the world right now. We first designed this to sell to fleets, right? But we have a lot of owner-operators that use it. We have a lot of farmers that use it because this also opens and closes the trap doors for the grain trailers for the farming market. So the next step is a lot of people that didn't want the power tool, right? That they wanted an automated solution. So we have a prototype of a fixed. So this goes on the landing gear and it's fixed, and so it's again powered through battery. So how this works is it braces again to the bottom of the leg onto the shaft. It's hard to kind of realize it through just this, right? But I want to show everyone the future products of our company. So we have the power tool, which is the most cost effective, and it's always going to be around, and here's why. For a company that has 100 trailers and say 50 drivers, or usually it's probably 30, 40 drivers, right? They're not going to buy one of these for every trailer. And the reason for that, it'll be too expensive. The bracket system is all they need, and they can just get a tool for each driver. However, for companies that do have the money and can afford it and would like another solution, which is just a push button, we have that too. So this is in development, and it's gonna get released sometime next year. So just more tests such as waterproofing and environmental, because it will stay on the trailer. We're also, I can't say the name of the company, but we're also working on electric landing gears. So in the future, there's also going to be landing gears with the solution on there already.